Hi, my name is Mark, and I'll be reciting the last essay that I wrote for the class, The Chinese Experience. This one is about 1,000 Pieces of Gold and the Accidental Asian. And it's called From Coolies to Cool Kids, Chinese American Slaves and Suburbanites. For Eric, the Liu family is not defined by Chineseness, but by inheritance. He is the recipient of an assimilation in progress, where he finds himself to be the baton holder, who runs further and further along the purposive arc of his parents' lives. However, this results in the realization that his Americanization has left him in a directionless space, where he now has the ability, and even mandate, to assemble his own meaning and his own self. It is a stark contrast to Popo's unwavering Chineseness, which, in the American context, is coupled with local confinement due to language and cultural barriers, as well as factory exploitation. In Songs for My Father, Eric realizes and admires that what set his father apart from other Chinese immigrants was his ownership of not only the Chinese language and the English language, but Western culture. From wedding customs to fashion, ambition, and Western philosophical ponderings. In painting the yellow line down the middle of a South Dakota highway, I believe that Baba manifests for Eric an endearingly ardent assimilator, embracing a small part in an all-American project, that is the construction of the highway system, to realize his American dream. The IVM job is another badge of American merit, as are the spirited parties that his Baba has with the neighbors. And yet, unlike Eric, Baba seems to do so with internal confidence and ease, his sadness hidden by dynamism, and not a hint of self-conscious cultural balancing acts. Rather than covering his Chinese name with a new American name, Baba adapts it proudly. Even though his shared experience of memory with his Taiwanese childhood friends is unbreakable, his baton run is plain and straightforward, more acculturation equaling moving up. In 1,000 Pieces of Gold, the meaning of family for Polly was at once dissolved and reconstituted with her realization of her family's death or possibly disownership of her, and the emergence of her relationship with Charlie. With Charlie, family was initially coerced due to the laws of the time, and because she needed him for a protector. Though she becomes a free woman, she is still limited by her Chineseness, her subjective experiences vis-a-vis society being delineated by it. Through an enduring strength of will and free-spirited personality, she is able to forge some semblance of freedom only through her relationship with Charlie. With him, Polly's race is mitigated because he insists on her living her life on her terms, as much as his rights as a free man can grant her that, even against his wishes. Therefore, contingent on his cooperation, her labor disentangles from her race, and because they move to their own homestead, society has a more limited effect on both people. But nothing he can offer gives her the confidence in their life together to be able to raise biracial children. Interpolation, the hallmark of her early life, remains. With his Baba, Eric's race is allowed to be defined by Eric himself. Though he seems to suffer from racial disqualification by white girls as a youth, he overcomes it through his persistence. Assimilation of his Baba creates the manifest destiny of an Asian American son who can, to a degree unfathomable to Polly, construct and reconstruct the fragments of race governing his identity. Concerning polysex, Charlie was determined that even as her husband and protector, she was at least not a subordinate, but a partner. She saves Charlie's life, and she determines that they have a pet cougar. She lives relatively independently and cares for him his remaining years. Eric's position as a boy is not controlled or even managed by his father, who seems to lead primarily by example, only exhorting him to be a good boy. His father's apparently self-determined goals leave him to define his maleness vis-a-vis the memory of his father, through whom Eric seeks for himself the same traits: knowing, kind, self-aware. The end. Bye.